that holiday is also the biggest spiritual activity. No matter if you hate each other, you love each other, you hate your gods, your ancestors, your relative. That holiday you have to reunite as a family anyway. First of all, free food, sure.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Sky. Today I'm going to talk with a local Vietnamese about what is spirituality in Vietnam. We're going to talk about ancestor worship, altars, taboos, and superstitions, and much more. If you're new here, welcome. If you'd like to see more interviews of locals and foreigners in Vietnam, hit the subscribe button, and until then, let's get started. Hello, thanks so much for being here. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Tiger Angelica. I'm an English and Vietnamese teacher and also a voice impersonator.
What's spirituality like in Vietnam?
Spirituality, it's deeply ingrained in Vietnam. It's blending a little bit of Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism. It's including families, rituals, and also a little bit of events and activities. It's one of the most important impact in the Vietnamese culture.
How important is spirituality in Vietnamese culture?
Spirituality holds a very special place in Vietnamese people. For example, our ancestors, we offers ancestors food, drinks in every single Memorial Day. We have like a Memorial Days for the ancestors, those one who passed away. So we believe that every time we offer them food and drinks and incense, that they would bring luck to us. And of course, in reality, it's actually good to remember your ancestors too. Vietnamese people always say that you live into the future, you believe in science or stuff like that, but sometimes you have to be a little mentally spiritual and you have to be a little intuitive sometimes. You have to mix a little bit of both worlds in to balance out your life.
What's your experience or practice with spirituality in Vietnam?
My experience is that I've been growing up in a very Vietnamese traditional family, both sides, my parents' sides. They're very, I don't want to say superstitious, but we have a lot of traditional customs. Like when we go home or maybe we visit our grandparents, it's not that the uncles and aunties and the grandparents that we have to say hello to. We have to bow and pray to the ancestors as well. It's like they're there. And then we have to take our hat off. Also, besides the ancestors, if we are religious, we can say hello, bow down to the Buddha. Or, they have like altars for the god of luck that we have to say hello to. And of course, every Tet holiday. Tet holiday is the most biggest spirituality practices festival that we have here in Vietnam.
When you say ancestors, they're also in your house, do you mean they're in the altars placed in the families?
Every Vietnamese family has an altar in the house. It's necessary. If you're not religious, you have to have like the ancestors' altar. It's important.
What are some common spiritual practices in Vietnam?
The first thing is ancestors' offering. No matter where you go, it's your ancestors' day. You have to come back with some gifts or some offering to show respect. Also, there's one cool thing that on that holiday, on the first day of Lunar New Year, you cannot sweep. Yeah, you cannot sweep your house. I mean, like, you can clean your house, but to the point that you don't sweep away the dirt or the dust. So you just gotta leave it there and wait until the second day of the New Year day to sweep it out. Otherwise, it believes that if you sweep all of the trashes out of your house on that holiday, like sweep away your luckiness and your gifts. There's also a belief that you cannot cut your nails or your hair on that holiday or before you go to an exam. In Vietnamese, we have the term rớt. Rớt means like failing. The action of the hair falling is like you're failing from your exam. So do not cut your hair.
On the day of the exam, right?
Yeah, wait after the exam.
So don't cut your hair or your nails.
Or your nail, yeah. You can clean your nail, but do not cut it. In most of houses in Vietnam, like the traditional houses, so you will see mirror, usually in a hexagon shape. So that mirror, it believes to reflect negative energy. So if some kind of evil spirit. They walk into your house and then they want to spread the evil energy out of your house. They can, because the mirror will reflect the energy. If the good people walk through your doors, then it doesn't affect you. So that mirror is pretty much important.
So that mirror is to reflect bad energy.
Only bad energies. Yeah. And about burning joss paper. When you walk the street in Vietnam, you see a lot of joss paper burning. Joss paper, or we could call it like ghost money, hell money, heaven money, whatever money. So people believe that when their loved ones die, they go to another world, mostly in hell. When you burn those paper down, it's a superstitions. It's not real. And Buddhism is kind of avoid this because it's just a superstitions, but it's a custom here. So it's been here so long already. Joss paper burning down to your ancestors. So if you burn anything in a paper form, when it goes to hell, it will become real. There's no scientific proof. People just keep on believing that. I've heard it from a Buddhist master saying that there was a time very long ago when a husband died, like the wife have to die with him, so they bury the wife with the husband. There was a king, he saw that and he said, oh, that's not right. So instead of burning a wife, or maybe cremate a wife with him, let's just create a human-sized doll. At first it was made out of wood. Times go by and wood is so expensive, so they nail down from wood to cardboard and then finally paper. From that story, so if you burn down an imposter papers and then it will come down to hell, it will become real. So that's why you see a lot of people, they burn like iPhone paper. If my grandpa, when he was alive, he dreamed of becoming like an astronaut, burn like a whole spaceship made out of paper down to him. People believe that, and it's non-scientific proofs, but it becomes like a problem. Because those paper, it's not toxic, but the more you burn, the more you harm the environment. It really does nothing. It's help you feel better, that's all. Nowadays, getting like a lot. Like it's everywhere, and trash everywhere too. It becomes dangerous because a lot of fire accidents start from just paper burning. And people become very obsessed. It's sort of like a form of art to create such things, but you're gonna burn it anyway. It's like Burning Man, that kind of stuff. A spiritual ritual becomes like a trendy event, and then it just becomes meaningless over time. Buddhism, we try to avoid that. We try to do propaganda and spread real, actual Buddhist knowledge into those people who just believe in those superstitious stuff.
Also in Vietnam, there's altars in every business. Why do they have that? What is it? Can you tell us more about it?
So there are 3 types of altars. The most common one is the ancestors altar. Like everyone has their ancestors. Do you know that even the homeless Vietnamese, they might have nothing, but they will have like a pictures of their ancestors or maybe God to bring with them, and to believe that it brings them luckiness. The second altar is if you're religious, whether you're Christian or Buddhist, you have the religious altar. The third one is like the God altar. It could be any god, like random god, but the most common gods are the gods of wealth and the gods of earth. In Vietnamese, we call ông địa. Ông địa means like Mr. Earth, and ông thần tài means Mr. Wealthy Man who bring us luck. You have to offer them. Usually ông địa, the earth god, he would like to smoke. It's really common when you walk past an altar of a business and you see the ông địa, the god guy holding a cigarette, because, well, he earthy guy, so he loves something that, but it's just funny when you see the cigarette on his hand. And ông thần tài, the wealthy man, would love, actually I don't know what he loves, but he loves everything you offered. Mostly you would offer him a cigarette to an earth guy, and they love bananas. We have like a custom funny thing saying that ông địa loves to eat banana. Ông địa thích ăn chuối. Oh, if you offer him a bunch of bananas, the more you offer, the more money you win. If you do like gambling, usually they will pray for these 2 guys. Let's call them earth and wealthy. So if you pray for wealthy to win a gambling game, and then you offer them a bunch of banana, and you're likely to win.
May I ask, what is essential for having on your altar? Fruit, water, incense? Just name one common altar.
Common altar, usually fruit, drink, but on the New Year Day, we have cầu, dừa, đủ, xài. So the name of the fruits form a sentence. means I'm wishing for enough to spend. Gao, that means like a sour salt. Dừa, coconut. Nũ, papaya. Sai, xoài means mango. So you must have 5 fruit, but I can't remember the rest. Probably, I know, pineapple. Those 5 for New Year.
But for daily offerings, it's best to have fruit, water, incense.
Yes, fruit, water, incense. And you must always have incense and water.
What's ancestor worship, and what role does ancestor worship play in spirituality in Vietnam?
Ancestors worship is very important. The most important thing in Vietnam, because you might not be religious and you might not believe in anything, but of course you have to believe in your ancestors, because, or maybe your past family, because when they were there, they were real people, and now they're not. They're in another world. No matter where you go, where you are, you have to have an altar in your family to show respect, to show that your mom, your dad, your great-great-grandparents are remembered, are loved. It's sort of a way of showing gratitude as well. Let's say that when your parents or great-grandparents walk the earth, you're not good enough for them. For some reason, you can't show enough love to them. So when they died, I know it's meaningless. It's probably pointless to just build an altar and just remember them, but it's actually mean a lot, since now they died, that they're closer to you. They understand how you feel. They understand what you really think of. You can pay with physical amusement. You can pay with physical property, but you can always pay with mental property, and to let them live in your heart.
How do spiritual beliefs influence family and community in Vietnam?
Spiritual beliefs actually brings family together. Like I said before, that holiday is also the biggest spiritual activity. No matter if you hate each other, you love each other, you hate your gods, your ancestors, your relative, that holiday you have to reunite as a family anyway. First of all, it's fun to catch up on what people are doing. Second of all, there will be plenty of food. So imagine that it wasn't your year, and you're broke, and you're hungry. You came to your family. It's food from your family offering to you. Free food, sure, I'll take one. Free food, free beautiful place with clean houses to sleep. Of course, you're gonna like it, and it's all come from the spiritual activity, that holiday. And also, it's give children a lot of good morals. In order to take the leasing envelope from the adult, you have to wish them well, prosperity, and wellness. You have to wish them all of the good luck in the world, and you have to be respectful, bow your head, in order to gain the leasing envelope, the lucky envelope. So they teach children from a very small age that you should be respectful to get what you want. You should be nice, be kind to get what you want. You can't just be like, hey, give me my red envelope, it's that holiday. You can't just be like that. So if you want something, there's a rule to it. There's a custom. Not only that holiday, but let's say that is a memorial day of your ancestors. You have to come back. Whether you're far away, we do online memorial day now. You can hold like a Zoom call, a group meeting online as well. What I see is that it influences and it brings family together. It influences children to show gratitude, to remember your origin. You weren't born from a rock. You're born from your mom and dad, and you should remember who they are. They create you. All I can say is that I'm really glad that Vietnam, it's a very developing country now. It's very modernized, it's very contemporary and futuristic like. But we still have those beautiful customs, and we still have those beautiful culturalistic activity that we can delve on and pass it over generations. People come to Vietnam and it's just like, oh, I come here for the death holiday. It's great. It's some experience that I would never expect or experience anywhere in the world, but Vietnam.
What are some common taboos and superstitions of spirituality in Vietnam?
Yeah, I can tell you my own experience. So here, you know that we have altars in houses. So it's best to not sleeping in, you can sleep in front of the altar. Vietnamese people like to, sweep their floor very clean and then sleep on the floor. But make sure you do not face your feet towards the altar. That is super disrespectful, especially if you're a girl, you wear short skirts. That is so not right. You wouldn't go to like a church, just sleep in front of the Jesus statue. That would not be right too. So make sure you don't face your your buttocks or maybe your feet towards the altar. If you want to sleep under the altar, face your head towards it. I got scolded so many times. I got told so many times for doing that. Sometimes you can make mistakes if you don't know, but you don't do it like all the time. Respect the custom. The second thing is, I think it's pretty much obvious that you shouldn't wear black on New Year Day. It's like full black, because black is considered a unlucky color in the most Asian culture, but it's also like for funeral. If you go to funeral, you wear black. That's very appropriate. You go to a wedding, you shouldn't wear white. So of course, you go to a Vietnamese Lunar New Year Day, you shouldn't wear black to someone home. Maybe you can wear black, blend in with red, with vibrant color.
Where are the best places to practice spirituality in Ho Chi Minh City?
My first recommendations is the Jade Imperial Pagoda. If you're not too serious about learning about Buddhism philosophy and you don't want to study, you just want to experience, then Jade Imperial Pagoda is the best place to go. It has amazing architecture. Obama visited there, and they have a lot of special ritual, especially for loved one. You can buy one of the lantern or maybe one of the light, and then offering to the Jade Imperial. He'll make your love wish come true. I'm not sure. I haven't ever tried that, but I think that it's a great place to do a lot of spiritual activity. Some might say it's a little superstitious, but it's okay. You gotta respect the custom. It's just fun to do so.
What district is it in?
It's in District 1. It's right in the center. Vietnamese Pagoda, one of the biggest in Ho Chi Minh City. They have a lot of ceremonies and also meditation practices. But if you want real Buddhist study, from academic to learning real thing about everything about Buddhism, then you should go to Giác Ngộ Pagoda. Most of the monks there, they speak English. That pagoda is sort of like a celebrity pagoda too. Celebrity go there to film a lot of Buddhism program, and it's one of the most famous pagoda that is on the Buddhist channel. And because of the master there, it's truly wisdomous. He is like a PhD master in Buddhist, and it's a very trustworthy place to go learn about Buddhism.
What district is that in?
It's in District 10.
Any advice you'd like to share for someone looking to explore spirituality in Vietnam?
My first advice would be you should respect the custom. Whether or not anywhere in the world, when they introduce you to a custom, respect it. You don't have to follow them, but just respect and enjoy. One of the most common custom when you visit pagodas and temples is that you should not point, right? Remember to gesture with your own hand. So just respect them and do it. The second thing is that you should participate in festivals, any kind of festivals, because each festival you can learn at least one thing. I'm sure it will leave you a wonderful experience in your life. The third thing is learn from the locals. Just learn from them. The last thing, be open-minded to everything. Visit as many pagodas and temples as possible.
If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. What did you think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you'd like to continue seeing more interviews of locals and foreigners in Vietnam, hit the subscribe button. And until then, I'll see you again. Bye-bye.